What's up, BiggerPockets? Alex Felice here again. Today I'm going to share with you a story about my buddy Frank. We have been investing together for a few years. I'm actually at an airport. He is flying in to meet me to do this, and I'm excited to share the story with you. Frank and I met on the BiggerPockets forums about 5 or 6 years ago. He wanted to do BRRRR like a lot of people. I have already been doing it. He asked me for some help, and of course I shared everything I know with him. We went to see, the first time I met him, we went to go see this house. He put an offer on it. I thought it was crazy at the time, and we've done a bunch of deals together since, and he's made a bunch of money. And it's just a really, really important insight to say that the BiggerPockets, the podcast is fantastic, and the articles are great, and the books are great, but investing in the community and the people in those forums has tremendous returns on investment. We're gonna go meet Frank right now. I'm gonna go pick him up because he's flying in, and we're gonna tell you all about his story. Let's go check it out.
My name is Frank Cuilick. I'm a military C-17 cargo pilot, and I got involved in real estate about 4 years ago, and this is my story. I was deployed overseas with my job, and I was sitting down thinking about my future and how I could position myself so that I could be financially stable, something that was fun, something that was interesting, and something that you can use to help other people. So I started looking into real estate. I had family that was involved in it, and at the time I had one property, didn't have any clue what I was doing at the time. So I started investing in my education and started reading online, started looking at BiggerPockets simply through search engines. I read just about every article they had, listened to every podcast they had. But I think the best thing that I got out of BiggerPockets was the networking that they provided. Their platform for networking is second to none out of any website, out of any book I've ever read. And that's why BiggerPockets was very integral in changing my life. If it wasn't for the networking platform, I would have not met people like Alex. And without people like Alex that are on those forums, I would not be where I'm at today in real estate. And for those of you that are wondering, what do I do? I've read the articles, I've read the podcasts. You've got to get in the forums. You've got to get into the networks. You've got to start talking and meeting with people if you really want to be successful. But until you actually sit down and actually talk to someone face to face that has been there and is willing to help you, again, like Alex and the ones here in Fayetteville have with me, it makes your journey 10 times harder than it needs to be. All right, so today I'm going to explain to you and show you how a full-time Air Force pilot is able to invest in real estate long distance. So let's go check it out. Okay, this is my first property. We can't go inside because I've got tenants, which is a good problem to have right now. Anyway, I bought this property about 4.5 years ago. Again, I was on BiggerPockets. I was on the networking. I met some folks, met up with them for like a late lunch, early dinner. Alex was there. And that was kind of when my real estate adventure, my official real estate adventure, when I actually knew what I was doing, got started. Came over to the property. They said, hey, we got one we can go look at. We came over here. We walked around it. We walked inside of it. It was in rough shape. And when I left, I was like, either I'm crazy or they know what they're doing. So I put in an offer that day. I got the house under contract for $43,000. We put about 12 in it, so I was all in for about $55,000, and it rents for $825 a month. So that was the very first one. And what I learned out of that was not necessarily the finances of how that deal went together. At the time, that's what I thought was the most important thing. But as I look back, the number one important thing I got was the network. I found a network that worked for me. Number two was the formula. Okay, so I have a very, very demanding job. I will work anywhere between 3 hours a day to 14 hours a day, mostly 14 hours a day, and there's times where I'm out of the country for anywhere between 10 to 15 days. And at that time, I was doing that every single month. Every single month I was gone that much. I was that busy, and I was having to live in one place that my real estate was at, but yet I was still an out-of-state investor. I was a long-distance investor. So I had to kind of put that formula together, put that network together so that I could continue to invest in real estate. That was the only way I was going to do it, and it's worked for me ever since, was figuring out that formula and putting that network to use so that I can continue working in real estate. So this is another one of our houses that we just finished the rehab on. So let's go ahead and check it out. This house, we just finished the rehab. The numbers on this one was, it was about $50,000 to get the house, and we had about $10,000 in the rehab. So not a super expensive rehab on this one. And this will rent for probably around $900 or so. So the numbers don't look too bad, but it's an awesome property, and this is kind of the formula that we were talking about earlier that I look for. Something that's a 3-2, has a 1-car garage or 1-car carport or something of that nature. And you just kind of stick to that formula the best you can. So as you can see, we've kind of walked you around, shown some of the properties that I've got going on right now. But the big thing I want to tell you, or at least pass on to you from my perspective to someone that might be watching this for the first time, thinking about whether they can do it, is I'm not trying to change my situation per se. I have a job that I love. I get to fly airplanes. That was my dream. But this provides me a means to build legacy wealth that I can pass along to generations. It provides me a means that whenever finances get in trouble or something else happens that's unforeseen, that I have a safety net. Now again, I'm not special. I didn't go to school for this, but I had to invest a lot of time in my education. I had to invest a lot of time in my network. I'm an introvert. It was very uncomfortable getting on a forum and asking people questions and asking them if they can meet. And what I realized on my second property, because my first one was an Airbnb, my second buy and hold property, is I realized that I don't have to do this alone. I can do this with someone else. And when you bring in those other people, it makes that first step, that first property that you get, that much easier. So if I had to impart something, you've got to build your network. You've got to get other people to help you if you don't think you can get across that finish line by yourself. And there's more people out there willing to help you than you will ever know. My name is Frank Cuilick. I invest in real estate so I can fly airplanes. Have a good day.